Hey, healers. Hey. Excuse me. Wow. Hey. Hey, y'all. I'm triple streaming on 3 different platforms, so I have 3 screens in front of me. What's up, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? Hey. Hey, y'all. What's up, everybody? So this is a forecast for the Gemini full moon. Oh, yeah. And it is a message that the death and rebirth cycle is complete. You are in the new timeline. You are in the new version. Best life, best version. I had to wear my shirt, Sunshine. This is my dog, Sunshine. Oh, yep. What's up, girl? We had a day. It's today. It's your birthday. Ah! Wow. Hey, happy birthday, boo. Alf Mabruk. You made it. Yay, that's exciting. You're 33. Oh my God. Wow. So cool. Yep, you're Jesus here, as you know. 33 was a really important year for me. That's when everything in my life really became clear. That's when I started doing what I'm doing now, the way that I do it. But I've had a whole detour and a side quest on all these different avenues to like wrap up old identities and aspects of myself that I formed in order to survive in different extreme environments and survive conformity. Like putting on all these different masks of like what other people would like for me to be or need me to be. And this is a massive shedding of those identities at this time. We're collectively just all dropping the masks and dropping the illusions. It's about to get a lot more realer, a lot more intimate. No conversations are going to be had unless they're going deep depth within the surface, and everybody's just kind of, it's like going to be a crazy thing because a lot of people are just going to be kind of suddenly become super aware of a lot of things that you weren't aware of before, and all of a sudden it's just going to be like everybody looking at each other like but it's a good thing. It needs to happen to get everything out in the open. It's for the best. I'm glad I could catch a live. I haven't been on in so long. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Yes. Hey babe, so good to see you. I was feeling your energy heavily today. I was feeling you. I was feeling you too. Spent most of the day catching up on your videos. That's so awesome. Oh my god, yes, cool. Sending you so much love during the cycle completion. Can't wait to hear your transmission under this full moon. Yes, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I was watching your video. I was just scrolling. You know, you scroll through Instagram, so I got to catch a clip of a video that you posted, and I was thinking like how she's coming into her voice, and that's exciting. And I'm coming into my voice too in another layer of it. So it's crazy because y'all know me from being on here and doing live stream. But in case you know, if you haven't noticed, I have been kind of absent, especially in the past couple weeks, and it's because I've been going through the death and rebirth cycle. So yeah, even it's funny for me because even if I think I'm absent, I'm really not. I'm really showing up a lot. But for me, I think it's the depth of which I'm showing up and what I'm sharing. And I felt really inspired and called to come on here with y'all to check in tonight. So definitely chat with me, ask me anything, talk to me, tell me what you think. Because I'm really um integrating a lot of things that have been like they've been a long time coming for like the past 2 years at least. So it was like over 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, we did our Heaven on Earth shadow work party in New Orleans, and that was for integrating all our demons and our inner unconscious monsters, and it worked. And I had to be real with myself and accept that I had been overgiving and self-sacrificing and making poor decisions with regards to myself. Like I had not been putting myself first, which made no sense until I started to dissect everything and I started to really like look at the past few years. And I started to see that, oh, like I actually had proven experiences of like um like reasons why I was overgiving in those situations, because I was conditioned to overgiving as a survival mechanism. And I feel like we don't really ever think about it. Like, we don't, it's not really like put that way. Like, when it comes to women of color communities, if you're if you're like a woman of color, you're assumed to come from a culture of communal care. So it's normal for people to care for one another. And I think that's people of color, period. It's not just women, because a lot of men take on the caregiver roles in their families too. And it's like, and it's because of all these societal ills and generational traumas of like war, refugee, poverty, all these things, where we have to pick up the slack, because there's like a class of people that hire other people to do that. And so for a lot of us, we're like trying to make that jump right now. Like, we're trying to make that jump. We're trying to go from being the people who are whose families are just like traumatized from being under resourced, where everyone has to pick up the slack so much to the point that people don't even have enough time and energy and money to invest in themselves. And we're trying to make that jump to being the people that have time, energy, and money to invest in ourselves and to pay people to help us. Like, I want to hire people to help me with shit. I don't want to be spread thin. But it's crazy because I started having a lot of breakdowns of my beliefs, and it came straight from the unconscious mind. It was a whole progression of things. So I'm going to be sharing more with you guys on my YouTube channel and my live stream. I like going live like this. Like, I can hit every platform, but I honestly, sometimes I just vindictively don't want to go on certain platforms because they try to speak. But whatever, fuck that. I'm opening my throat chakra. That's why we have a light blue. We have a light blue color. I don't know if you guys can tell. It doesn't really look like that much like light blue on the screen. I don't know what color it looks like for you guys. It looks kind of like silvery. But I'm invoking the color of light blue, and I've been seeing it everywhere. I seen it in my dream. Do you guys ever dream about looking at Instagram or looking on the internet? I know I do. It's so funny. I'll dream about like lurking my crush's profile. I haven't done that before on Instagram. Has anybody done that? That's like the best way to lurk, is in the dreams. Then you really don't see some things. So I've been invoking the color of light blue for soft, sensitive communication, because in my throes of my like mental breakdowns to lead myself to autonomy and sovereignty, I definitely feel like I communicated aggressively and hurtfully at a lot of moments and times, where the only thing that I was really trying to communicate was just that I felt sad and I was angry and didn't feel loved or appreciated or cared for. And when I start giving those things to myself first, then I don't have to worry as much about it. Because people are always going to come and go. And I think that's the flow and the balance that we're learning right now, and like how to craft a life that is big enough to hold everything that we want it to hold. And having to be super honest with ourselves, because that's the crazy thing about self accountability, is that you can only be so much self accountable. Like, there's a point up until which you can't see yourself anymore. And you're gonna need somebody to reflect back to you. And it doesn't hurt for it to be a multitude of people in your experiences. And I feel like the thing that always drew me to polyamory as a concept and as a practice was the fact that it made room for multiplicity of experience. But I don't think that I have ever been like legitimately sexually polyamorous. I feel like sexually I'm monogamous. Like, when I'm interested in somebody sexually, I want them only, and will only think about them. But I think that I just became polyamorous and promiscuous as a survival technique and coping mechanism for when I felt abandoned and unloved, that I would have like somewhere else to be, because I couldn't just be I couldn't always just be alone with myself. And I feel like I used friends in those capacities too. Oh, sorry. I feel like I used friends in those capacities too, of like putting in so many different things. And I used my work in that capacity too, to like put something in place for me to have something else. And that is when the most chaos in my life has been formed, is when I try to like to cling to something or to form something to fit a hole within me, when I could just become the whole void. And it's so simple. It's not complicated. I get to do what I do. It's simple. And nobody has to understand it, because there's people that get it and are here for it and show up for it. And we make magic together, and we do co-create it. And it's on, it's bigger than me and a coaching business or a healing business or whatever type of services that I could provide, because it's a communal space that creates nurturing for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. But ultimately, we have some very similar shared goals, and a lot of us have shared lineage as well, which is why a lot of us look similarly, or there are certain similarities that you will notice between different people in our group. What's up, y'all? What's good? I'm still integrating the funeral for the old me and all that's coming up for the future. Ooh, me too. Wow, me too. That's why I really wanted to go live tonight too, because I wanted to mark this occasion, because it was 2 weeks ago that was the new moon. And you guys know that I'm not really like big on the moon cycles anymore, since I figured out what was going on. But I still, when I look at the moon, sometimes I'm like, it's just so beautiful. Like earlier tonight, looking outside, it was just so beautiful. I would still sit underneath it, even though I don't know what the fuck is going on with it. Like I'll still sit underneath it. That sounds nice. But right now I'm staying inside. Yep. I definitely have more things I want to do with the moon. So 2 weeks ago, the Reiki mothers were here. It was 5 of us. We held ceremony and ritual with one another to lay to rest the old me, the old outdated self, aspects of self. And for me, it's coming off of me like a big energy body. It's basically like the shape of my form. It's like sludgy energy that's lifting off of my right side. And it's the pain body. So what's happening in the collective is the collective is collectively shedding the pain body, and it's because of the prolonged exposure of violent imagery to some of the most high vibrational people on the planet right now, because there's been so much triggers for grief for so many people that have been watching these massacres and these things going on, that they've started to recall their own ancestral history and memory, even if they don't know it consciously. But it's all the grief is lifting off. People are crying more than ever, and that means that their hearts are more open. And now, not to make it not to bring it back to capitalism, but just so you guys know, this is a good time to capitalize on your gifts, because this is when people are seeking things that are uniquely human, that no AI bot can make, and they want to have a human experience. And not only that, but they need guidance. So those who have been, you're further along on the path. And I've been watching these trends in the coaching space and the healing space online, and locally. I've been watching these trends play out for the past couple of years. Like one thing is, like, I live in New Orleans, so this is a city that actually has a current and historical spiritual professional community. People have been, like, a lot of people have been offering professional spiritual services, and advertising, and, like, being public with it for a long time here. So it's really part of the culture. It's understood, and it's something that is like, yeah, it's not like, No, it's like there's every block. There's like multiple professional spiritualists on every single block. So that's given me a really good perspective and a really good opportunity to learn and just to see how different people do different things and to put regular human behavior in a spiritualist context. And I think one of the most dangerous things to assume about spiritualists is that they're like that they're good, quote unquote good. First of all, that's very one dimensional. People have multiple sides to them. They can't just be one thing. So nobody's just good or just bad, but everybody has the potential to do good or bad things. And with like it's easy because when people are working with a lot of energy, like it's like there's a lot of different forces that might want to hijack that energy. And then what's interesting slash funny in the spiritualist community is what people will act like they'll act like they're being ethical or like they're trying to be protective of the craft when they'll criticize other people's practices as being like illegitimate or unsafe because it's because they want to plant seeds of doubt and they want that person to be looked at in a negative light. It's not hardly usually ever because somebody's doing something really unethical. But the thing about it is that some people do really unethical things. And then some people are just flawed and human also. It's really interesting. You have to be the gauge and the barometer of your own ethics because no one else can really tell you. And that's what my coursework specializes in supporting you with is helping you like really gauge your actions, gauge what you're doing. I constantly look at myself of like ways that I've been narcissistic and ways that I've been abusive and exploitative and that I've done things wrong. But it's like I have to see that side of myself so that I can like do what I do ethically. Because everybody's human. You're always everything you are going to purge out the realest parts of you whenever shit gets real. And it's not as simple as people think like, "Oh, your true colors show when shit gets real." Like no, what it's not that those are your only true colors. It's that pretty much anybody would react a lot of times that those ways anybody would react that like that if they were in that situation. And one of the things that like I think it's kind of hard to come back from it. I think that's the worst thing about like having a meltdown or like doing something that you're not proud of, like acting in a way that you're not proud of. Because like sometimes we do things that other people think are bad or that we should be ashamed of or whatever, but we're not, we don't feel that way. We like, I did it. Yes, I did it, and I feel good about it, and I don't have no regrets. But other times, there might be times where we really like, that's not really how I would have handled that, but that's how the wounded inner child chose to handle that, and I'm embarrassed by her actions. Like, but she's been bad, so I'm gonna have to take her home, and she's on timeout, and she can't see you right now. She can't see you right now. She has to grow up and get more mature before she can go out the house again. So we have to take ownership for all the parts of ourselves. So just like we would like want anyone to accept that, we would want anyone to accept us for who we are. But the thing is that there is certain things that are not really acceptable. There are certain things that are just not acceptable. But sometimes like you have to learn that even if when you're being totally unacceptable, like you're still God's child and you're not going anywhere unless you want to. Yeah. So now it's 2 weeks post the funeral for the old me. I have some love letters from our Reiki healers that I'm going to read to you guys before we go. I'm going to be I'm gonna be working on my healing mind control ritual. Who's doing theirs? Who's done theirs lately? This is a ritual that I channeled, you guys. The price is about to go up. Shop now. So, yeah, I took the healing mind control ritual and put it on sale. So it's only $99 right now, but it's gonna go back up to its original price. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reprice it or what I'm gonna do. I'm basically reformulating all my courses right now. I'm putting everything so that it can be very like streamlined, organized with community access, community support. Like basically, I'm building the infrastructure for it to grow so that it can grow as big as like it can just grow. Like I feel like I've learned so much. If I have had this type of like thinking and this type of knowledge and support, I would have, I don't know, I'm not gonna look in the past, fuck that. It's only moving forward, but now it's really time for me to dream and vision again. And I honestly got so jaded, so many things happened that just made me feel not good, and I drained myself, and I didn't have enough infrastructure, and I didn't even have enough self-worth to like receive. It's like that's the thing, is like you can gain a whole bunch of followers, but if you don't have systems to channel them through, it's going to be harder to maximize all that potential. Like that's the most important thing to focus on first, is getting your systems and your business structure behind the scenes. Okay, so this is a kind of a no nonsense message right now. That it's I feel like I've shown up and given this message so many times, but I feel like I'm coming at it from a different angle now, because one of the things that I'm detoxing from also is workaholism, and that's a major thing that's coming off of us as it lifts the pain body. So let's find out what's in the pain body. What's in the pain body, you guys? Because this is like a form that's lifting off of us. It's also going to be alleviating like cervical compression and pelvic pain. Oh yeah, it's gonna make pregnancy and childbirth easier when this pain body lifts off. That will be the orgasmic birth. It's like birth will occur as a heartgasm. I took a clearing bath this morning, and I'll do it tonight, inshallah. Ah, yes, I took a bath. I've been taking baths every day. That's my favorite thing. So yeah, you guys, there's a old self that has completely died. Like the old cycle is dead, and what's um being felt or experienced as the pain body is like the remnants of those old timelines, those old selves, those old personalities. So it's kind of like if these energies like came into your aura and they threw a party and they just left all their garbage in there. It's that. So it's not actually if it's like you'll be able to disconnect from it very easily, and you have to watch your emotional states so to see when you get triggered into emotional states of like to the point of a trauma response where you can't really, you might go unconscious, you might go into a different personality at that point, and it's because of built up prolonged emotional stress. So the antidote to that is to journal it out, to write how you're feeling, and just to stay present with how you actually feel, and continually going to your center, going to your heart, and going to your womb, going inside yourself and like checking with how you feel. So it's going to feel so refreshing as this pain body lifts off. It's going to feel so refreshing, and you'll be able to you'll be able to like take a nice cleansing breath in and like just feel really hydrated with your breath. So yeah, we're feeling a lot of energy pushing out through the root, through the womb. In general, it's just a very like strong, fast, purging of all outside energies, everything that's been taken on that's the not self, and including all the millions of personalities and personality traits that were created out of survival for navigating an extreme environment or extreme situation, or navigating extreme coldness and lack of love, neglect, emotional neglect and abandonment. And this was manifesting from a shutting down of the caregivers. The primary caregivers in the collective were emotionally shut down, and it directly comes from war and refugee trauma. I just tipped over the fucking ashtray. No, fuck that. Ancestors, are you fucking with me? Oh my god. So angry. Fuck you, pain body. Yeah, they like, don't tell all our secrets. Psh, I'm spilling tea. I am spilling tea. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm spilling tea, bitch. I came to spill tea. Sip, sip. Yeah, talk to me, guys. How do you know it's the pain body? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, this it'll try to catch you off guard to like slip into the pain body, and then it tries to draw itself back in, and it draws itself back in with victimhood, with powerlessness, with scarcity, with like extra seriousness, not funness, like being mad, anything that's not the self. Whatever your not self is, that's anything. If you're manifesting as not yourself, it's because your pain body is trying to take control and mount you. It's basically like a spirit. Like, so basically, for those of you guys that don't know this, one way that spiritual energy manifests is that as a curse, it can sometimes basically be this like pretty much this like headless, like this disembodied like energy that is like, it's just created. It's like purely created. And this is what a curse is. Like, when somebody is cursing somebody, this is one way that a lot of people curse people, is they basically create an entity to attack that person, or they call upon a certain entity to attack that person. So when that happens, they're basically creating this entity that's not real. It's like doesn't really exist. It's not real, except it only exists in that expression to attack those gifts. But these entities over generations, they get stronger, because what they do is they affect the person's actions. And so then when the person is committing those different actions, they are creating genetic memory through epigenetics, where your DNA actually changes as you live your life based on what you do. You can change your DNA, or you might just reinforce what's already there, or you could change it potentially through epigenetics, which we do through energy healing. Our energy healing practice is not just energy healing, it's shamanism. So a lot of words have lost their meaning, but I still use them because that's what people understand. And I'm not gonna shy away from entry level communication of these concepts, even though we are going high level with the exploration of these concepts. Also, I think that it's important to diversify the language that you use to speak about it, which is why I don't usually get too much into semantics of what words to use or not use, because I feel like that doesn't really matter to people who are not using their grasp of the English language as a pedestal that they put themselves on. And that's what is a big problem with like a lot of mainstream spiritualists in the healing space and in the coaching space, is that energy. And I know that I've embodied that energy too, of like a know-it-all, or like someone who's just like too above it all. And I think that on some level, because when you're working with people that need help and they come to you for help, and a lot of times they're reaching out to you in their weakest moments. So even if they're coming to you like normally, like saying something normal, the energy could be very overwhelming sometimes, and it could be like clinging. But it's not a bad thing that people want to come to you in weak moments. When you're doing spiritual work, that's a good thing. Like, that's what this is here for. And that's the importance of the self balance and the self support, to be in a good place for those moments. And whatever that looks like for you, to, if you know that, okay, like, well, I know, like, for me, I've been taking a break because I know that it's time to do my work, and I'm preparing. And so in my way that I've built my schedule for myself and my courses and my community spaces, I built it in a way that has so much space, and it allows time in between for me to really grow and for everybody involved to grow too. So yes, I was thinking of this, and I put this in my post earlier, that like, the more practice you have at falling, the less scary it is. Like, oh, I'm gonna fall and I'm just gonna get back up. If you stop yourself from falling, you're scared to fall. If you like practice falling and even like let yourself fall, the fear will, like, you know, it depends on what happens when you fall. That's the thing. It's like, it's a wild card and it's unpredictable. The fear might lessen, or there might be a trigger from when it happened before. Like falling off your bike. Like, if you fall off your bike and then you're scared to get back on. But what if you're a professional BMX bike rider? You fall all the time. You're not scared to fall at all, like, at all. But you might risk taking a really bad fall too. The pain body for me manifests itself in my feet, my foundation. It feels like I'm constantly living in instability. I'm ready to release the pain body and take step after step with confidence. I love that affirmation. I'm ready to release the pain body and take step after step with confidence. I'm ready to release the pain body and take step after step with confidence. Yes, I love that. Feet and legs are a huge part of this root chakra work. A lot of people have had stuff like that happen, or some, like, a lot of people have had things happen with their legs. A lot of people that I've worked with. Yeah, one person had a broken leg when she came to me. One, she like, I love how in our community, like, I really structured it to be like this, where people can come and go. And so there's people that like come back every year and check in with everybody. There's people that, like, leave for a while, come back, because it's still there. So yeah, she had cut her leg with a saw. And this is the thing, is that, like, these injuries are a wake-up call. I had a really bad knee injury when I was 13, and now I know that that signifies the ego. It signifies masculine energy. It signifies the ability to move forward. I mean, and that's how serious it is. And sometimes, like, our inability to move forward manifests as actual physical ailments. And to other people, they're like, oh, that's not spiritual. It's just an accident. But when you look at life spiritually, you can read into anything, and it will give you very valuable information for yourself and your life and your quality of life. And this is how people have always looked at all of life throughout all of time, as they've taken a holistic approach. She said, I literally rolled my ankle last week and was caught by my rosemary plant. Wow. I could feel the pain in my foot for 3 days, and then my body healed itself. I believe I moved the pain by welcoming fall. That is amazing. I welcomed the symbolism of falling to the floor during a moment where I would normally feel like I hit rock bottom, but I know that's not true. I know I'm shedding to make room for more expansion. Those moments in between are so important. Yeah, that is so beautiful. Like, the symbolism of being caught by the rosemary plant, this protective plant, but the Mother Mary plant. And you took 3 days to heal yourself. Whew. Being a little lightheaded. Yeah, everybody breathe. It's like a lot of excitement in the chest as the heart is opening up to the soul's truth that like I'm here, I'm on purpose, I can be me. Yeah, I can be me. Everybody loves me. I gotta be me, and it's if I want people to get to leave me. It is so funny. I gotta be me, and if I want people to leave me, because otherwise they won't leave me alone. Oh no, I can't have that. I need to be alone. I love being alone. Let me stop. Yo, are y'all with me? What's up, yo? Talk to me. She said, I'm still waiting for your album. Oh my god, you're inspiring me, mama. Oh my god, I want to do that so bad. I've been daydreaming about it. Like it's like I'm getting there. Oh god, I just feel like it'll just feel too good to me to do that, and I'm like I don't know if I can handle feeling that good. I always make up random songs all the time. You guys know that. If anybody that knows me knows that. But and I have so many good poems. Like I have some equipment. I have everything I need to get started. So we shall see. Oh my god, wouldn't that be so fucking dope if I dropped an album? I can't believe it. I will never listen to nothing but my music. I would never listen to nothing but my music. That is so funny. She said it's just I know you stay writing. I know you stay writing. It's just a matter of adding some music. You can do it. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. I want to for sure. I think that's definitely an intention I can set with this with this full moon. And Gemini, you guys know I'm a Gemini. Gemini means communication. So there's the theory that these zodiac signs are curses, and that like they're like it's really interesting. This is why I don't usually come on here and give you guys basic zodiac facts and readings and full moon and new moon and all that stuff, is because all the theories deconstructing these concepts are so valid that it really interests me. And I know the more that I step into my multidimensional gifts, that I don't really rely on a lot of things. Like I still pull tarot. I still do look at my chart. Like I still use these things, but my perspective is like more than anything is to rely on the inner self's knowledge and connection with spirit, because I think it tells you a lot more, and it tells you in multi dimensions. So for example, you might have like 12 zodiac signs, but the expressions of humanity are limitless. But it helps to group things in, you know, the major arcana, the minor arcana, the suits, the tarot, the zodiac, um, because it helps to make sense of the world as it is, broken down into gigabytes. So I started studying with a teacher that like she's been nurturing her multidimensional gifts since she was a teenager, and she has not even like she doesn't watch TV. Like she's just not influenced by a lot of outside stimuli, and so her connection is really strong. She can like see, hear, and feel things coming from other galaxies and other dimensions, like and very, very, very clearly. So that's really, really cool. So that makes me think about how I burned myself out this year, which was by doing a lot of astral travel for my clients and my students, and like going into the astral realm and going so deep into history. This year was really mostly on this earth. It wasn't as much in like the galaxy. It was a lot to do with humans on earth, it's crazy because when I'm doing these sessions, these are like deep dive initiations, like I don't know what's gonna come up ahead of time. Like I might have an inkling or I might start to feel the energy. Because like for me, if you guys notice, like if you notice me and you pay attention to like I you notice how like before October 7th and um hmm, dang it, they got me. I have to speak in code more because I'm like, I feel like I just got on some list by saying that. But before then, you guys know how I was like going kind of psycho. Like I feel like I was just like feeling like actually all year I've been getting attacked in different ways uh by these energies. And I feel like it's all related. Like and I really want to know like with other Palestinians if other Palestinians had those experiences too. um Aside from because it's like yeah obviously like some of us are like experiencing attacks, like everybody's experiencing the attacks on different levels. Obviously the attack is directly on their life, but anything that attacks you or attacks your confidence or your livelihood is an attack on your life. So we have to really start taking that stuff more seriously with how we like treat ourselves and allow ourselves to be treated. I feel like a lot of people like I feel like a lot of this. Oh, this is really uncomfortable. Ew. I'm like, you have not been valuing yourself. You haven't been looking at yourself and treating yourself with the correct amount of value and worth that you actually have. And it's the lens of the pain body, seeing life through a lens that is false because it diminishes you and it diminishes who you are. So it's through the self expression that these wounds get exposed to air in order to be cleaned and to be healed. And it will come with like intense purging symptoms, puking. It's best to do some type of digestive cleanse. I posted a really good one um, on my feed on Instagram. So check that out, you guys. And I have another really good one too. So I have a system. That's another one of the courses that I'm putting together is my spiritual detoxing course. And I want that to be a free course where I basically just like share with you guys my spiritual detoxing methods. 40 days and 40 nights spiritual detox challenge. Shout out to that. So I'm on, let me see, what day am I on? What day am I on for my challenge? Let me go to the calendar. Because I started on the 23rd, 11/23, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on day 5 of the 40 days and 40 nights. And it'll finish on the 1st of January. So if you want to start with me, you can start anytime. If you start, let's see, if you start in a few days, you could finish on 1/11. That would be good. That would be a good time to finish. Oh, hi. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi. I got YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. What's up, y'all? Hey, healers. Hey, you guys. Yeah, you guys. I'm just chilling at home, feeling cozy. It's cold outside. My dog is chilling over here. Happy full moon for those who celebrate. I'm so conflicted and torn about the moon. But I think I'll continue worshiping it in some capacity. I just want to dance around a fire naked under the moon. And I want to sleep under the moon on a blanket all night. And I want to wake up with dew on the grass all around me. Hi, you guys. She said, I'm going to start my 40 days and 40 nights detox tonight, starting with a herbal bath and limpia. Oh, that sounds nice. Yes, that sounds nice. I will be doing the same. That is. Yep, I will be doing the same, and I'm gonna do my healing mind control ritual. So, because right now, I know like the world really needs the courses that I have to offer, and they really need the energy work that I do. So right now I'm basically just like strapping in for my life, like, okay, this is it. And I saw this coach that I have followed for years who's a marketing coach, and he was saying that he's been doing live coaching sessions for 5 years, and he's going to retire. Um, and I remember him saying one time he was addressing the thing where people were like, well, the internet's not going to be around, it's going to get shut down or whatever. He was like, yeah, true, but he's like, you might as well make as much money as you can before that happens. If you're already a millionaire when that happens, it won't matter. And he's a millionaire, and now he's retiring. And I always like was so drawn to him, because I thought this is someone that I want to learn from. And his name is Abu Fofana, and he's a black man. And as soon as I saw him and I saw his name, I knew like I want to learn from this man, and I know that like he is someone whose opinion that I respect, and I want to listen to him. And I think it's so crazy because so many times we tell ourselves that people won't want to listen to us or hear from us because of who we are, what our name is, what we look like, or like whatever. And it's just like so not true. Like there's so many people that are just like, you, like I want to listen to you. I want to learn from you. You just never know. Like if you're a subject matter expert, like it shines through. And then with your personality of who you are, it's just like a brother or a sister or a cousin or anybody that you know, even people will have crushes on you. Be like, oh, he's so hot or she's so hot or whatever. But it's so innocent in the marketplace. Like it's so innocent. So a lot of what we do over here is like feeling safe in those connections with other people. And I feel like for me, like the internet has been a place where I've been able to feel really safe in my connections with other people because I can connect and then when I'm done, I can just turn it off and go about my business. And it's always here. And I think that's why it's such a common substitute for people to use the internet and as a substitution for connection, but it's also it's not to be discounted as a legitimate form of connection either. And this is what I've been looking at a lot in the past couple of years is to make sure that my spiritual practice is ethical and like what I do is ethical. Because a lot of times this world is twisted and they try to get you caught up doing things without your consent or without your knowledge or understanding. And it's weird because it'll just completely bypass. It's like a frequency bypass. Because you'll be over here doing one thing and then you'll be over here doing the other thing. And this is a very strong Gemini energy of like the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. So this is where we're starting to put everything together. We're not ignorant to anything that we do. And we're just peaceful in that. Also, it's like I don't have to be a perfect person. I've been influenced by a lot of things in my life, and you know what, if you want to condemn me for not being a perfect person or not having it all together or having some serious insecurities and flaws, then fine. What the fuck? Like who are you gonna find that doesn't? I think that's one of the frustrating things when you do this, when you like self-healing and working on self-healing, is that like that's a wounded inner child that will come out and just be like, can't you see how healed I am? Can't you see how good I'm doing? Like, can't you see how much progress I've made? When it's like 9 times out of 10, motherfuckers don't give a fuck. They don't even give a fuck. And matter of fact, they don't want you to do better because you're getting too good. And they're not okay with that. All right. So don't worry about it. Just do your thing. You don't have to qualify. It's so crazy because I've been thinking about this for days, and I've just been thinking about how like it's been really hard to show up. But the reason why it's been hard to show up over the past couple of years, there's just certain times that it's like that because um it doesn't always feel effortless until you put a lot of effort in. And the most beautiful place to get to is to be like highly sought after and highly paid and highly prioritized, while also being like very like open to life's experiences and primarily locked in with yourself. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of things that I see that like I know it's not a solid foundation, and it's on a shaky foundation, and you can tell the difference. And there's no shame in that. Like it may take many rock bottom moments to break down to this solid foundation when it's been pieced together over generations, time and time again. And that is a good feeling to know that you made it to rock bottom and you're there and you can rebuild on a solid foundation. That is a really good feeling. That's what it's like, a certain freedom in that. But then that can also create an addiction of like wanting to go back to that moment of like the victory, of like triumphing over it. Because like how does it when you're kind of like addicted to that adrenaline, how is it that things get done without it? That's when systems and protocols and like procedures and all the boring stuff, like habits, that's when these things become habits. And that's why it's sometimes hard to do spiritual work when you do spiritual work, because you're healing yourself too, and sometimes you might not be ready to heal that much, but you still got to keep doing it. When it's your work, you can't just stop, but you can do what you need to do to create the optimal environment for yourself. And that is the important thing to remember, is that we are love and we are in abundance all the time. We just block it. A lot of times, sometimes I've been feeling sometimes I've been feeling like everything's already been said, so what's the point of me saying it? So I wanted to hold back my words, but sometimes just the point is that it's coming out. And this is what I do, is I talk to people for a living. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I train and I mentor and coach and support other people that do this too. If you have a ministry, I help with creative confidence, especially when it comes to feeling safe after sexual abuse, especially after that happens in the adult entertainment industry. Because I have lifelong experience with that, and I was born into it. And that is what led me to break down all these generational curses and ancestral wounds and limitation that is bound up in the concept of sex work. So it started as just a simple healing circle and space for sex workers, and then it grew into something much bigger that undermines the fabric of capitalism in reality. So on that note, I think that we're gonna have some really good purging from this conversation, you guys. So a lot of root chakra recalibration. Don't be surprised if you have to take a big shit. I'm just saying, like, not to be TMI, but use your breath. Does everybody know how to take a real good shit? Does everybody know how to take a real good shit? If you don't know how to poop, Google it on YouTube. And that's going to be one of the best things to do, as well as opening up the throat chakra and opening up the heart and speaking what is real. And that's going to open up space for the solar plexus and the sacral to take in more pleasure as the self, being the self. See, even with the chakras, there's so much more multitudes within us, because we have the 7 main energy centers, but then we have so many, like, hundreds of other energy centers in our entire field. And so it's really good to feel for all of that. It's understandable that we would want to simplify things and break things down into zones and codes. This is the bureaucracy that we live under. It's understandable that we would simplify things that way. But so it benefits us to truly tap into the multidimensionality of it. Okay. So I gotta go, but I'm gonna film another video after this with the love letters from our Reiki mothers from the funeral for the old me, and the Reiki Baddies brunch and the 11/11 celebration that we did recently. So I'm about to jump off. I'm gonna post a replay, don't worry. So you guys can check this out. This was our Gemini full moon forecast. And then check back in with me later for some more details. The schedule, I rearranged my schedule, and we have a Reiki Mother course up next. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you guys about it. It's going to be really great. It's going to be an opportunity for you to get certified as a Heaven on Earth Reiki Mother and join our elite healers who specialize in working with survivors of sexual abuse, specifically sex industry adjacent. And this is a healing protocol that focuses on you healing yourself to heal the world. So we prioritize care, giving care to ourselves as caregivers, and we prioritize and we uplift caregiving. It's the most important thing that anybody does. So we want to find more and more ways to make it easier on the people that do it, to make it healthier, to support caregivers, and to create an environment in which you are supported in supporting yourself and advocating for yourself and going hard for yourself, because you deserve it. Much love, healers. Thank you for tuning in with me. I love you guys. Okay, much love. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, say mashallah, tell a friend to tell a friend, and stay tuned. Masalama. Bye, YouTube.